YouTube, it's Nikki with Our Simple Life. Tonight I'm going to have you join me in my kitchen. Earlier today I ran across a YouTube video from Gently Sustainable Homestead, and Kelly was on there talking about how she was going to participate in a challenge called Every Bit Counts Challenge, and it's about preserving something for your home every day for the 31 days in August. She got the idea from Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead that started this challenge, and I thought, what an awesome idea. Given the circumstances that we're living in, every little bit does count. I did some preserving earlier this week. I put up some tomatoes for some tomato sauce, and I kept the skins and I dehydrated those so that I can make tomato powder to add to different recipes for a more tomato rich flavor. In addition to that, I had also dehydrated some blueberries that I will also powder down. The health benefits for blueberries are out of this world. So I put some up as well as froze some and ate a ton fresh. So today I do want to participate in the challenge, and for today's preserving, I'm going to be putting up okra for frying. Usually I do freeze these, and I may do some more later on in the season, but I am quickly running out of freezer space, so I want anything that I can get shelf stable. So I found a recipe that cans these in apple cider vinegar and salt, and you don't process them, but you do some of the cooking. I'll take you guys along with me for every step. Now, this is the third harvest that I have gotten off my okra this week. So it's doing really well off of my 8 plants. And I'm going to get started with what I've got. For our recipe, I'm only going to be putting up about 3 quarts. So I reduced the recipe so that I wouldn't have too much waste. So first we're going to start with a tablespoon of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. It doesn't matter which brand, just so long as it's 5% acidity. 1, 2, 3. And next, we're going to do 5 cups of water. 1, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to start this boiling. And I'm also going to, I've washed up my jars. I want to heat them so that they can be sanitized, and heat my lids. And while that's heating up, I'm going to cut up my okra. So of course I don't want to waste anything. So the tops and the blossom end that I cut off, I'm going to be saving for my chickens. They don't like whole okra, but they will eat it if it's cut up. This is kind of woody, so I'm going to discard that one. I don't want anything real stalky in my okra. If it becomes fibrous, I just let it go, and I'll chop it up and give it to the animals. Now, I have already washed my okra. You do want to make sure that you wash it up real good, because you don't want any bacteria in your jars. I do have two different varieties here. I think I've maybe mentioned on my channel before. I do have the Whidbey White that's a little plumper, and the Heavy Hitter. It's a little bit more green. The Whidbey White has a pale color, but it is very delicious. The chickens have a nice breakfast. All right, so we've got our mixture boiling. I'm just gonna stir it to incorporate it very well. I've got the lids boiling, as well as the jars. Since this has reached a boil, I'm gonna pour my okra in, and then I'm going to wait for it to reach a boil again. Once it boils, then I'll let it boil for 8 minutes to cook down the okra a bit and incorporate the salt and apple cider vinegar into the okra. Now that my okra has come to a boil, I'm going to start the timer at 8 minutes. I'm going to take out the jars when they are still smoking hot. Here's my timer for my okra. And I'm going to keep these boiling while I'm stuffing the jars, just to keep them at the hottest temperature that I can. You don't want to overpack the jars, but you can tap them to help them settle. Not exactly sure how much okra I'll have to fill them up. To take the brine and fill up the rest of the jars.
Mom, can you give me a knife? Yeah, Mom.
Now with these jars, you want to fill it as high to the top as you can. These aren't going to be processed anymore, so you want to take all of the air out of the jars that you possibly can. And just like with any other canning, you want to make sure to get all the bubbles out, because you don't want any air in there introducing any bacteria. I'm going to top off the mixture in each jar. I'm only leaving about 1/8 of an inch of head space. And with these jars, since we're not doing any more processing, I want to wipe the rims with apple cider vinegar as well to clean the rims. I'm going to use my hot lids. And put my rings on. With these rings, I want to put them as tight as I can. You want them tighter than fingertip tight that when you're usually processing. That's all that I'm going to do to my jars. I'm going to let them sit and cool off at room temperature without disturbing them for at least 12 to 24 hours. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. Even though we only got 2 quart jars of okra, it's still more than we had put up. So I'm kind of proud of it. If I can do a little something every day, it gets us closer to our goal. So I hope you'll join me in my next preserving video and hold me accountable. Check back with me and ask me what's coming up next. I hope you'll join me as well on the Every Bit Counts challenge. Even if you're not growing a garden, go to the grocery store and, check out the lost leaders. What can you preserve or what can you put up in order to provide for your family? I'll see you guys on the next video.